Everyone, it's Tuesday and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Wrestling, as by ever brought by Tim. Hi Tim, how you doing, mate?
Hi Lee, I'm pretty good, thank you. And this week I've decided we'll change it up. I think we should ask each other a question.
I think that's a good idea, and because it's Money in the Bank week, I think they're going to be Money in the Bank related. So my question for you, Tim, is what is your top three Money in the Bank cash-ins?
Oh, we brought up the magic. Yes, cash-ins. Okay, so my top three, in no particular order, are the first ever cash-in from Edge at New Year's Revolution in 2006. Edge cashed in on John Cena after holding the briefcase from the previous WrestleMania all the way through to then. And John Cena had just gone through an elimination chamber. He was bloodied. He'd managed to start from number one, and Edge's cash-in was perfect for me. It really sealed the deal very well.
Yeah, and I think it also set the tone for what the Money in the Bank cash-ins should be.
Look at ways in which we do cash-ins. It's because of that one that it is so successful. Okay, number two would be the big one, and that is Seth Rollins cashing in on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. The first cash-in at WrestleMania that blew the roof off. Seth coming down, I don't want to say a heel, but the crowd weren't very much into the Brock and Roman match, and he took it to a new level to then cash in and win the title at WrestleMania. I think that's the best way you can do it.
Yeah, and as he was cashing in, I actually thought he still worked. It was going to be a failed cash-in. And like you said, I think it saved that WrestleMania.
It's rumoured that Seth didn't know he was cashing in the belt until 10 minutes into the match. Until the match had gone in, they actually said to him, look, we want you to cash the belt in now. We'll get a message to the other guys. You're now going to win the match.
Here's your case, quick, get out there. Type thing. Wow. And what's your number one?
So the last one I've got is a recent one. And you know me, I've been a very big advocate of women's wrestling. I thought it was only appropriate that Io Sky is cashing in on Bianca Belair at SummerSlam 2023, sorry, where she cashed in on Bianca after Bianca had a match against Charlotte and Asuka and became world champion. It was poetic for somebody who's worked so hard like Io. It sent her on the route to stardom.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, it was unexpected, and that's what Money in the Bank cash-ins are meant to be. So, totally agree. I think that's a very good list.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any. Well, there were many others to choose from, but those were the ones I went with.
Okay, so Tim, what's your question for me then?
Okay, Lee. So we're talking about Money in the Bank, right? And I've spoken about cash-ins. What about you? What are your top three moments from Money in the Bank?
So from the pay-per-view itself, yeah?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about that.
Okay, so I've gone for number three, Dean Ambrose wins and cashes in his Money in the Bank at 2016. Yeah, because it's the only night that all three members of the Shield held the WWE Championship in one night. So I think that was just iconic for the Shield. And again, something that was very unexpected.
Oh, without a doubt. And I'm glad that they all got their flowers for that night. They did really well. It is a shame the way in which Dean Ambrose was treated after that title win, but for the night, he deserved it.
Number two is heading to the women's wrestling, and it's Liv Morgan wins at the 2022 Money in the Bank.
Absolutely understand that one.
So she cashed in on the same night, and she defeated Ronda Rousey to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. And it was iconic because it was Liv's first major title. And obviously, we spoke about in our review last week how great we think Liv's character development is, and that was only like 3 years ago, so it just proves how much that can kickstart her career and how far she can come over the last 3 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. When she won that match, I thought, oh my God, she's casting in. Oh, wow, she's done it. That completely caught me off guard. I was surprised that she was cashing in on Ronda at the time. and Ronda didn't flag up. Okay, the program they had afterwards wasn't brilliant, but as we said, it was a starting block. The progression she's now making, like she's head and shoulders above it.
Yeah, and then number one, we can't mention Money in the Bank moments without seeing Punk's chef kiss to Vince McMahon and taking the title with him. And for me, it weren't actually that exact moment, even though that was a shocking, iconic moment, but it's what came after that moment with Punk's return and his program with Cena.
So before we get too much, what a match that was. The match itself was absolutely fantastic. And people seem to forget that when they remember the chef's kiss, they don't remember that the match was so good that it warranted some sort of extra ending.
Totally agree. And in a way, it was Punk's prime, Cena's prime, and they were two perfect people. And I know Punk's always said he's had a lot of respect for Cena over the years. And you can tell that with Punk matches when he does, either if he really hates you, he produces a really good match, as we're seeing with Seth, or if he really likes you, he produces really good matches. Where he was sort of in the middle with Triple H and Kevin Nash and all that, so that was a bit punky. But as you said, with Cena, that was a great match. And like I said, the stuff that came after, the one iconic moment I can remember is when John and Punk was both holding their belts in the ring, and every time they lifted the belt up, the music would change. But there's one moment, I've got to give credit to John here, he held his belt a little bit lower than Punk's. So visually, it looked like Punk was the better guy because his championship belt was a bit higher, and I thought that was a great moment. And obviously, Punk's actual return, John again, playing that, hang on, that's not Alberto, sort of lifting the curtain a bit to make us think, he actually doesn't know Punk's coming because he's expecting Alberto because that was the plan for the end of the match. Now, John probably wasn't on it and knew it was Punk, but he played it out so well. And all them moments and all them Raws was iconic moments for me for Raw since the Attitude Era. I obviously loved the Attitude Era in my teens, but after Punk going away from Money in the Bank and coming back, that just really heightened Raw and got my love back for wrestling. So that's why it's a number one moment for me.
Absolutely, and as you say, it's iconic. When we all think of Money in the Bank, it's one of the first things that comes to our mind.
Yeah, so Tim, really good questions, and we're going to be reviewing Money in the Bank next week. But we'll have a good week, Tim.
And you, and in there, CM Punk's great form.